The press over the last 2 months between Sony and Epsilon has created a very high level of awareness with the market. Our phones are ringing. We find a lot of organizations rethinking their incident response, their data breach preparedness. Do they have enough in place? The communications, the training, everything that will keep them out of the headlines or do the best they can to stay out of the headlines. So the media over the last 2 months has been creating that awareness that obviously is good for our business. I think the last statistic I saw, 2010, first time breach organizations costs are up 22% over 2009. So even these organizations that start with a very small breach typically haven't had a breach preparedness plan in place, an incident response plan. So after that first breach, they're finding a way to assess a better way to be prepared. So, okay, yeah, everyone knows the hair on fire drill. You know, certainly we've found that breach preparedness or incident response that's been properly executed across the enterprise, training, in some cases more organizations are starting to certify to ensure that training takes place across the enterprise. Those organizations that we've worked with post-breach one obviously have reduced their costs associated with breach, reduced their risk as a result, stayed out of the media, as compared to back to those first breach experiences that the hair on fire, the media typically exploits it before they're ready to notify, and it just caused a lot of chaos. Really, forensics requires some patience. You know, knee-jerk reaction from so many organizations is notification, and as you've heard this before, notify correctly, not quickly, and the foundation for that is good forensics practice. So what we have found from the organizations we work with, that particularly first breachers, if you will, that the forensics work can take some time, a little impatient, looking for that outcome, but notifying correctly through good forensics work can save a lot of money, reputational risk, that negative press that comes with over-notifying, or conversely, without good forensics work, under-notifying, and it puts you at risk for AG class action lawsuits for those that just found out that they were a victim and they weren't notified. So we find it to be an important, critical step, good forensics work. It just requires managing expectations to the organization from a time perspective and a cost perspective. Data ransom, data extortion over the past 12 months. Typically offshore, the ransom amount is low enough where most organizations might think it's not worth the potential risk for media exposure, and they'll pay it out. So what we have found over the last 2 experiences that more organizations are looking globally. They're looking for answers to meet this situation. So investigations, computer forensics comes into play, and you know, we're advocating that don't pay, but you know, let's investigate and try to find, you know, where this is coming from and what we can do to prevent it.